Hey guys, felt compelled to make a video. It's the 26th, day after Christmas, and I'm just walking outside. Real nice, beautiful blue sky. Yesterday, Christmas Day, it was just really interesting. Just kind of, I don't know, almost like halo-like cloud formations, I guess you could say. It wasn't like there were halos in the sky, but it was like as if it would, we were sort of framed, the sky were framed by the clouds, and then they just sort of, I don't know. I don't know the names of the cloud formations, so I can't really give you a great description. I also feel like a little sleepy. Just got out of the shower, and I don't know. Been mentally slow lately. I think I said that in my last video, which was a while back, and so maybe I'm just getting dumb, period. But I decided it might be good to put something up, just for the sake of keeping some form of momentum for the channel, which I guess I'm doing. This isn't even like what I intended to put up, like things like this, like rambling monologues maybe, but not the ones that are aimless and just me walking, because I don't really care about this. I don't expect anyone else to, but I'm doing it in the hopes that some gem might drop out. And also I was thinking that really what I should do is not place too many expectations or limitations on the channel, because I think whenever you're starting with any format whatsoever, any medium, be it painting or music or anything, you allow for the medium and like the sort of natural constraints to be the first constraints, and then from there you sort of hone in on what it is sort of intuitively, if it's an art form, which is something I'm learning more and more, that intuition is necessary for the artist. I was skeptical of that for a good while, because I think that there's some rotten shit out there that people make, and then they say it's like, it's made intuitively, and maybe that's true, but I'm beginning to suspect that they actually were trying to press certain agendas, even if they were just self-serving agendas, like ego-driven things. I think that tends to be what comes through, and then they can claim that they were just artistically expressing themselves, and maybe that's the problem, is that they're expressing themselves. And I don't know, I think of the word expression sometimes as sort of, here, I'm gonna walk this way, there's some dude, I don't want to be rambling into my phone next to actual humans. The context that you're seeing this in makes it not weird, but out in the real world, yuck. Anyway, speaking of yuck, back to what I was saying. The word expression, I always think of like, I think it's called like an express. Anyway, I think of like bodily fluids being expressed from the body when I think of people talking about expressing yourself, and how like a lot of times that's how it comes across, is not necessarily anything good. It's just like, what's the value? It's just an expression. It's just a thing that you allow to ooze out, and then you call it art, and that apparently makes it valuable. And it doesn't necessarily make it valuable, just because you can call anything art. Anything can be art. So anyway, pulling back to where I was initially, format and form of the sort of the device, basically the phone that I'm using, and the medium of YouTube and video making and such. I'm in a field now. That should be what I use as the constraints, and then I should allow for whatever happens to happen within that. Just see what the channel becomes, more than trying to force it into a specific thing. Because oftentimes, if we try and force things into a specific idea, we just sort of create something where you don't have any substance. You only have the framework that you've worked so hard to create, and you think that that's the idea, and maybe it's the idea, but it's not the thing. It's nothing. It's like there's nothing of substance there, because, man, there's a bunch of, like, as you can see, spiky things and I'm barefoot and I don't really mind, but it's like when I'm talking to the camera, I'm distracted and they're stabbing me. So I think I might just sit down for a minute. I really got to get back. I was telling my brother that, you know what? People are gonna hate me for having this the long way. Why don't I put it sideways? Well, then it'll be, I don't know. I don't know how this shit works yet. I'm just gonna keep it long. Wow, 7 minutes in almost. Not a lot of substance. I'm gonna go back in a minute and drink some tea and play Go with my brother. And Go, if you're not familiar, it's a Chinese game, 4,000 years old approximately. Older than chess, basically, which also came from China. They're both Chinese originally, and I find that pretty interesting for some reason. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're not going to go into the direction of, like, I was just thinking maybe China has always ruled the world or something, but you're not going to know what I'm talking about because it's just popped in my head. But yeah, interesting game, and we are both learning to play it. I just bought a book on the rules, which are, so far it seems it's a pretty straightforward game, but I don't know how to play well yet, which I guess I can't play chess very well either. So anyway, it's just good for your brain to think that way. So I guess, shit, maybe this channel is just gonna be a video, like, blog kind of thing. I don't like the word vlog. That's not what I want it to be. I want to talk with interesting people about interesting things. But maybe this is just sort of a proto channel where I experiment with the format and just sort of see what it's like to have an online presence at all. I did a few years ago, but that was just like music album reviews, and I put all those videos. I had, like, this channel. Some of you might actually be wondering what's going on because you're subscribed to my channel, which used to be other stuff, but I decided to just put all those on private so I can look at them, but nobody else needs to watch that shit anymore. And now I'm focusing on this, and it's a totally different experience already from what I was doing before. It seemed easier to break into a community when you're doing music reviews, whereas this is a lot more just abstract, I guess. There's no obvious thing that I'm doing. It's not like I'm putting album names into the title, and so you're not gonna get as many clicks. All right. think that's all there is. Merry late Christmas, Happy New Year.